प्रोग्रेसिव मैगजीन एक्सरसाइज नंबर 18 लीगल मैटर प्रोग्रेसिव मैगजीन 2022 अक्टूबर। स्टूडेंट्स आपकी नवंबर की प्रोग्रेसिव मैगजीन आ चुकी है। हम इसको कंप्लीट करने के बाद उसी को स्टार्ट करेंगे आपकी। अगर आप लोगों को स्पीड ज़्यादा चाहिए है, 100 से ज़्यादा हुआ तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स में कमेंट कर सकते हैं, तो हम 100 से भी अबाउट डिक्टेशन बोल देंगे। ओके, ये आपकी 840 वर्ड्स है, आप इसको टाइप ज़रूर कीजिए। ये वो कुछ स्टूडेंटों की शिकायत होती है कि 400 वर्ड्स ही टाइप करेंगे हम, लेकिन आप 840 वर्ड्स या 1000 वर्ड भी टाइप करोगे ना, वो भी आपके लिए काफ़ी बेनिफिशियल रहेगा। एग्ज़ाम में तो आपके 800 वर्ड ही आएंगे, ग्रुप सी में भी, ग्रुप सी में 1000 वर्ड आते हैं, और ग्रुप डी में आपकी 10 मिनट की डिक्टेशन आती है और 800 वर्ड आते हैं। लेकिन आप 1000 वर्ड को टाइप करोगे तो काफ़ी अच्छा रहेगा। आपकी जो लिखने की प्रोफेंसी है आपकी और ज़्यादा से इंक्रीज होगी। चलिए हम स्टार्ट करते हैं अपनी डिक्टेशन को विदाउट टाइम वेस्ट किए। बी रेडी, स्टार्ट। द plaintiffs submit that the present plea relates to the Daniel and non-recognition of the beneficial interest of defendant number 2 of the shares held by the defendant numbers 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in defendant number 1. The cause of action arose on 31/12/2016 when the draft consolidated financial statement of defendant number 11 records deconsolidation of its accounts with those of defendant number 2 for the reason that there is absence of confirmation of beneficial ownership from the legally registered shareholders of the entities. Thus, on 31/12/2016, it became manifested that the recordal of declaration of beneficial interest of the defendant number 2 would no longer be caused to be made by those in control of defendant number 2 and its affairs, namely defendant numbers 3, 4 and 7, and which hostile action led to not only the denial of the according of beneficial interest of defendant number 2 but also to deconsolidation with retrospective effect of its accounts with defendant number 11. With the deconsolidation of accounts it became clear that a hostile action denying the beneficial interest of defendant number 2 stood taken by defendant numbers 3, 4 and 7. The cause of action further arose on 7/6/2017 when defendant number 1 refused to acknowledge the beneficial interest in the suit shares. The cause of action further arose when defendant number 1 through defendant number 10 on 27/6/2017 once again refused to acknowledge the beneficial interest in the suit shares. The cause of action further arose on 12/11/2017 and 24/11/2017 when newspaper articles being in public knowledge suggested that the equity of the defendant number 1 is being sold to private equity investors through a bidding process, and the present investors including the defendant numbers 3 to 7 along with defendant numbers 8 and 9 attempting to sell their investments in the defendant numbers 1 and exit the health insurers. Stop. The cause of action further arose on 21/12/2017 when newspaper articles of the Economics Times being in public knowledge suggested that the 5 companies have been shortlisted to purchase the defendant number 1 and that the floor price of 5,500 crore has been put for the sale by the defendant number 1. Next para. The plaintiffs thus wanted a declaration to the effect that shares in the Indian company which are held by defendant numbers 3 to 7 in fact belong to defendant number 2 company. Since defendant numbers 2 did not come forward to make the said claim, directive action was filed by the plaintiffs on its behalf to the aforesaid effect. As per the plaintiffs, the High Court of Madras at Chennai had the jurisdiction to entertain the same in as much as one registered office of the Indian company is in Chennai. 2. The investments made by defendant number 2 were made in the Indian company in Chennai. And 3. Substantial part of cause of action as reflected in the correspondence letters exchanged between plaintiff number 2 and defendant numbers 1 and 10 arose in Chennai. The contesting defendants questioned the territorial jurisdiction of the Madras High Court to entertain the said suit on the ground that no cause of action available to the plaintiffs to maintain the suit arose within the jurisdiction of the said court. In substance, the plaintiffs were attempting to resolve the dispute between the shareholders of the company, though all the shareholders are residents and nationals of Dubai. Moreover, they are claiming that though shares are in the names of defendants numbers 3 to 7, it is defendant number 2 which has the beneficial interest therein, and even defendant numbers 2 is a foreign entity which is covered by the foreign law. Likewise, the entire relationship between defendant number 2 and the plaintiffs is also covered by the foreign law. It was additionally contended that the claims made by the plaintiffs are not enforceable even under the Companies Act 1956 or the Companies Act 2013. Next vera. As far as inter-se disputes between the plaintiffs and the contesting defendants, who are all shareholders of defendant number 2 are concerned, they have arisen in Dubai, which is outside the territorial jurisdiction of Chennai. Ms. C.A. Sundaran, Neeraj Kishan Kaul and others learned senior counsel appeared for the plaintiffs. In substance, their argument was that the learned single judge of the Madras High Court had rightly allowed the application for leave to file the suit after satisfying that the court at Chennai had the territorial jurisdiction to entertain such a suit, which was a derivative action taken out by the plaintiffs on behalf of defendant number 2. It was highlighted that even if defendant number 2 was in a Dubai company of which plaintiffs and defendant numbers 3 to 7 were the shareholders, dispute was in respect of shares in defendant number 1, which was an Indian company having its registered office in Chennai from the date of its incorporation. Full stop.